Greetings everyone. Hey, it's Karen with Naturally with Karen, and I have a live video today about the real Bluetooth. The real Bluetooth is a connection that you have based upon your living waters and those that you are very connected with, okay? Bless up, good to see you there. Anthony, it's nice to see you. You are living amongst other people, and just like women who are in an office building and they start to synchronize with each other, so they start to share moon cycles, they start to feel like each other, they start to intuit what each other is going to be doing or how they're feeling. You connect in other ways besides guttural utterances, besides language, the code language that we know of as English. So let's get into it. As a little girl, starting in 1965, my grandmother used to write things on a little piece of paper and she would put them behind her back. She called those billet readings. Those billet readings were designed to do this before the age of 5, to strengthen my third eye. So when I often speak about becoming anointed or being chosen or called, as the language is, the way the Bible is written is such that it's to forbid you to use any divination. So our response to that was to call people that did use, their ability to innately use their intuitive abilities, witches or bad people or practicing witchcraft or anything like that. None of that is true. There's no such thing as a witch. There's just no such thing. And I get it, it might be a developmental phase that you're going through. So when it comes to their word, which is Bluetooth, and you put on a headset or you pair your speaker with something, what you're seeing right before your eyes is the same ability that you have to pair yourself on a telepathic level. Now, let me explain a couple ways that I have done this personally, and you can do it too, because I'm not gifted with something, and I often do my best to redirect people out of gifted language, because that means God gifted me with something, but God didn't gift it to you. And any God would never do that to you, because any God that there ever was would want to give me something and you something and everyone else the same something, because it's innate within the type of vehicle that we came in, okay? You're born in a skin bag, element-based, trace element-based body, and that's why I'm able to help people. But I'm also able to help people to get their groove on when it comes to developing their intuitive intelligences. So here's an example. I'm laying on my floor, and in the middle of a dream, my body is asleep. I'm able to vision, which is quite different than dreaming, and I'm able to connect and pair with another individual that I'm close and connected with, like my son, and I'm able to see through his eyes as I'm laying on the floor. Hundreds of clients have come to my massage table, and not only did they get one of the best massages ever, meaning Esalen style massage out of Esalen, California, close to Big Sur. It's a whole institute there. They do a very fluid, it's got a little loamy in it, but it's a mothering, nurturing, nourishing massage with therapy where needed. But it's fluid, so it's working with the living waters. It's not just relaxation massage. It's a little bit of both. It's probably about the best experience, something that I would ever ask for is an Esalen massage. So touching people, placing my hands on their clavicle, on their head, and starting with a little spiral on their forehead, and taking their hair back, and working their earlobes and working their jaw to release tension, because that's where we hold a lot of tension. I was able to use especially my right hand, like grandmother showed me, and the ancestors also showed me throughout the many, many years, decades now. And I was able to put my hands on and pull up and say, I see lots and lots of Christmas cookies, or, I see, I went into an amazing rainforest or tropical, and they say, that's exactly what I did. I can't believe that. How did you know? And I say, well, did you see the purple something or the blank blank? This is just one of many examples. We pair with people just like, I'm going to show you, this is a speaker from my shop. This is a fugu. Yeah, it's a fugu. It's a fugu speaker that I had in my shop. And in order for me to use my little iPad or my phone to play certain songs when I do my massage, I have to hit the scroll down on my phone and hit the Bluetooth button, right? And I have to hold the Bluetooth button on the speaker, and eventually it'll say pairing, right? And all of a sudden I'm pairing one, listen to the words, device with another device so that they'll be able to talk together. When you take your ATM, your debit cards, and you stick the chip into the machine, you are doing more than having a transaction. You are entering the machine. You are voluntarily, you're not being summoned like you are to court, but you're entering that data into the machine, and then you're punching in certain codes that you see as accept the transaction, yes. Do you want cash back? No. But take a moment and listen that you're actually being enticed to do a dance with the machine, and you're being watched while you're doing it. So you don't know that you have these abilities. Most people, I'm not going to say you, but most people do not know that I can sense people across the world, and so can you. If I want to connect with Naomi Malope, if I want to connect with Dee Dee, if I want to connect with Kim and say, like, what's going on? Why do I feel this feeling? I'm able to tap into the field, which is like, it's like entering into a pool of water. That's why I go over here to Lake Superior, to this Cold Mother body of water over here, or back home to the Pacific Ocean to Warm Mother, right? She's a much warmer body of water, and that's why the people that live around her, like I did for 42 years, are warm. They're very emotionally effuse. They're very, very much more loving and willing to hug. When I came here to Northeast Minnesota, people were very, just a really kind of a quick hug, but they weren't really willing to embrace heart to heart. It was nothing like what I was used to, with Rastafari and many different kinds of people that were out on the West Coast. So you were able to enter into communication with someone while you're laying on the floor when other people would consider that you being asleep. You are entering into a different type of time, okay? So when you go into a quiet space and you enter a different brainwave state, right? These are all states. You might think of Minnesota, California, Iowa, New York as a different state, but that's the illusion. This is what you were shown this in school, in textbooks, in TVs. That's why when it comes to women, in order to seduce to reduce you, there was a program on TV in the 1960s called That Girl. That was to teach you to start calling yourself girls, to minimize you and create perpetual children. That Girl with Marlo Thomas, look it up and watch it for yourself, is one of those shows that definitely was about turning us into girls. Bewitched was showing Samantha and Darren, and she was talking about how Samantha was a witch and she could just kind of wiggle her nose. Everything in that movie was programming. Everything in the Jetsons, the Flintstones, Dark Shadows, the soap operas, That Girl, Bewitched, I Dream of Jeannie, all of those. Every single generation has its vampire. So the true vampire is not really sucking the blood, it's sucking the energy from you and creating you to become a helpless, perpetual child because they hate women. They hate women, and they hate original people that are the blue-black people. They hate them, they hate them, they hate them. So it made sense that a lot of even white women like myself picked up on the fact, those of us who were born in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, that chose to awaken ourselves, that chose to stay off medications, that chose to sit down and look at that television in the 60s and 70s when we were children in front of it, because we were, shooed and told to go outside and play. But if you couldn't help but watch those shows and realize that that was programming, okay? So All of those shows changed you. The way the Bible was rewritten changed you. So your holy trinity is actually the fact that you have 9 glands. 9 is the finishing number, and 3 of them are located up in your head. They're up in your cranium. They, for the very longest time until the last 2 years, denied that your hypothalamus is a gland, but it's also a synthesizer and a secretor of hormones that your body and ingredients that your body needs to make hormones, right? So this is very, very important, is that you have the ability to connect with people and hear them and sense them and stay in connection with them, so that if the grid becomes even more empowered than it is, you have all the ability to do what you need to do. So I'm going to say so long for now. You have the real Bluetooth inside of you. It's right here. And as long as they're able to destroy using halogens, chlorine, fluoride, bromine, and bromide, what else? Anyway, we take and we go for vacation and we swim in chlorine pools, you know, and we're showering every day and we're cooking and we're brushing our teeth with it and we're taking baths with it, and we have it injected inside of us, lots of halogens, right, from the time we're little children. So what I want you to know is that you have Bluetooth already inside of you in those 3 upper glands. Those are the Hall of Impressions. That is how you're able to connect and communicate, because the type of communication that we're doing right now is very, very, very limited. It's warlike, it's extremely Aryan, and it's extremely facilitating for racism, ageism, abilityism, classism, and all the other isms, schisms, okay? So what we need to do is turn the ship around. We are not lost at sea. That's what maritime law has us down, is lost at sea, as if we're helpless little children, and that's what they want. They want you to be so manipulated, to be so helpless, so that you will cry out and you will be, you know, you'll do nothing more than hold your phones up and photograph people. Like, you didn't want to see me in the store just now, but I ran into a man that's been bullying lots of people around here, and I said, you know, I've been looking for you. And he said, you have? And I said, absolutely. I said, I think your karma's been calling for you. So, you know, we need to learn to stand up and to talk and to speak our truth, and to be able to connect using the Bluetooth that we have already inside of us, okay? So I wish you guys a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me. It's really nice and warm and humid out here. I just let my hair down for a couple of minutes, and I'm going to go for a short walk. So thank you.